Hello, welcome back to the Dance to Learn YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Strong, and if you are looking for dance teacher tips, tricks, and advice, you've come to the right place. I invite you to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. This week I am back with my scarecrow friend, Mr. Sprinkles. And we were supposed to be teaching in a preschool today, but unfortunately the class was canceled due to a power outage. So I'm here at the studio. I'm sharing what I would have taught this week. And my goal for today's video is to chat about class flow, because obviously what I teach in the dance studio versus what I teach in the preschool is different. So if you've been following my preschool dance class mini series here on the channel, which I've compiled into a playlist. So look for the mobile dance playlist if you're interested in catching up on those videos. But I just recently started teaching in a local preschool again, and we have been exploring the dance concept of body shapes, and that's where Mr. Sprinkles has come into play, and he was lovingly named by the dancers in this preschool. But what I wanted to chat with you guys about today is how I adjust my class flow to go from a 45-minute creative dance class, which I would teach here in the studio, to a 30-minute creative dance class, which is what I am teaching in the preschool, because obviously I'm losing 15 minutes, and that's a huge amount of time. So obviously I have to adjust things when I am in a preschool setting versus here in the studio. So what does that look like, and how do you know what you can remove from your class flow? All right, Mr. Sprinkles, are you ready? Let's dive into this. So originally I had booked a 45-minute creative dance class in the local preschool, but we had almost 15 kids sign up. I think we have 14 kids that signed up in the dance class altogether. So I recommended to the preschool director, why don't we split this class up into 2 classes? There was a couple reasons for it. Number one, the space is kind of tight. I know I've showed videos of the space before. We have a rug. That's sort of where we start dance class. We do our warm-ups on the rug, and it just was not safe, and it wasn't really feasible to try to fit 14 kids on that rug. So we cut the class in half, and we did 7 in one class, 7 in the other. And instead of one 45-minute class, we changed it to 2 30-minute classes, which has worked out a lot better space-wise, and it's been more developmentally appropriate for the kids because it's cut down wait times for different parts of class, such as our obstacle course, which I will talk about here in a moment. So how do we adjust the class? How do we make things different? And how are things the same to the studio? Well, we still sit in a learner's circle. Now we're on a square rug, but we're still in a circle shape on that square rug, and we still start with a concept play. And for our concept play, we try to make this a multi-sensory experience for our dancers. So I'm going to use a manipulative or a prop like I have here. I like this scarecrow. I found him from Hobby Lobby, and he's very mobile. He's got some very flexible legs, and his arms move, which make teaching some of these body shapes a little bit more fun and more interactive and more multisensory, because now we have something that's hands-on. So he has taught us the body shape straight. He has taught us the body shape curvy. He has taught us the body shape angular, and maybe some angular arms. And he's also, today he was supposed to teach us twisty. Now he can really twist around, which is a lot of fun. So we start with that, and we talk about the body shapes that our scarecrow makes. So we do that in both the preschool and in the dance studio. This is really important because, number one, it sets up our thematic exploration, which for this unit was scarecrows. It also sets up our dance concept and the attribute that we're learning about today, which today would have been body shape of twisty or twisted or wrapped, whatever word you want to use for that exploration. So then we move into our warm-up, which we do in every single class, whether it's in the preschool or at the dance studio, we always want to warm up. And we do a story-based warm-up, and it is based on the brain dance patterns. So we go through different patterns while we tell a story, and it is a thematic and conceptual exploration. So for something like scarecrows, I've recently found these cute, super adorable little seasonal stuffies on Amazon. These were originally keychains, and I just took the chain part off of it. This started with our apple unit. I found the most adorable stuffed apples, and now we're moving on to pumpkins, and I think this is my new favorite prop to include. Is just, it's small, they can hold it, everybody gets one, and we breathe. We breathe in the smells of fall, and so we breathe in our pumpkin, and we talk about what does he smell like. Maybe he smells like pumpkin pie, maybe he smells like pumpkin spice lattes, maybe he smells like pumpkin cookies or pumpkin cupcakes. And then there's always the silly one, he smells like oranges, he smells like strawberries. So that's always fun. But that's our breath exercise. We have been using our little stuffies for that. And then for tactile, we stuff our scarecrow with straws. So we do tickles, and then maybe we do hats, and then maybe we squeeze in our straws. So we do some different tactile exploration. Okay, so then we get into core distal. So this is conceptualized. So we're going to make different scarecrow shapes. So we start little, and the first one is we stretch out into a straight shape and we curl back in. The next one is curvy. So maybe we add some curvy arms and we curve one way and the other. Maybe we, whoa, curve all the way around. That's a fun one. The next one is angular. So we make an angular shape. So this time our knees are a little bit pointy and our hands are a little, what kind of, this is fun for hip hop. You could do some like tutting stuff. Curl back in, and then the last one, I trick everybody and we do twisted. And my legs don't go out, my legs twist. So that's a fun one. Then head tail, we sing a little song for head tail. This is one of the songs that we actually play in dance class when we're doing our obstacle course, but it's the Dingle Dangle Scarecrow. So we sing, I'm a dingle dangle scarecrow with my flippy floppy hat. I tip my hat like this and I dip my hat like that. And we do that one a couple times, so that's always fun for our head tail. Then after head tail, we do our body hemispheres. So we start with upper body, and we're gonna put the clothes on our scarecrow. So our legs go away and we put our arms in and we have buttons, and then we sort of explore those body shapes again. So can Mr. Scarecrow wave straight arms? Can Mr. Scarecrow make some curvy arms? What about angular arms? And then what about those twisty arms? So we go through those body shapes again with our upper body. Then we get into lower body. We put some pants on, and then we test out our pants, and we sing another little song. So we sing about walking through the farm. So we're walking through the farm, we're walking through the farm. Hi-ho, Adelia, we're walking through the farm. And we go running, we're running through the farm, we're running through the farm. Hi-ho, Adelia, we're running through the farm. That's always a really fun one. After upper lower, we move into right side, left side. So we become little crows, and just one side of our body flies, and then our crow finds a scarecrow to land on. Have some little orange fuzz on me. And our scarecrow goes shoo! And then we do the other side. So that one is really fun. Then we get into cross lateral, and we make a little crow who flies all over, and then he lands on one scarecrow, and he flies all over and lands on another scarecrow. And then we roll our pumpkins down to town, which is another fun song. I like to do the peanut roll because you can also test, this is a Moro reflex exercise. So it's a fun one if they kind of just go like this and lay there. it's a good indicator that they may have a retained Moro reflex. So you want to see them stay nice and curled up like a peanut when they do their peanut rolls, but you could also spin and get some vestibular actions. We do those same warm-ups whether we're in the dance studio or in a preschool, and we follow those story dance warm-ups that we do. After that, we stand up and we do a exploration dance adventure, and this is usually to a song, and we stay in our learner circle. So we've been dancing to the same song. We've been dancing to I'm a Scarecrow Tall by Kathy Reed Naiman, and each week we've been exploring a different body shape. So week 1, I'm a Scarecrow Tall. Maybe we added a releve with my big straw hat. I can wave my hands like this and that. I can dance around, I can jump and twirl, and then we did maybe some kicks. I'm the finest scarecrow in the whole wide world. Then we did curvy the following week. So maybe our hat was curvy hat. I can wave my hands like this and that. I can dance with some curvy arms. I can jump with some curvy arms. So that one was curvy. This week was going to be twisted. So maybe we put on a twisty hat. And when we wave our arms, maybe we wave our arms like this and that from side to side. We can dance around. We were going to practice X jump, twist, spin for jump and twirl. And then just different ways that we can twist around. Angular, we did, marches and angular hands. So that is very similar to what we do in the dance studio. After our warm-ups, we stand up and we do a standing dance adventure, and we stay in our learners circle for that exploration. So normally in the dance studio, after our standing warm-ups, we would transition to our waiting stations. We don't have a transition in the preschool. We just stay on our rug, and then there is a space in the school. It's kind of a nice long room, but it's not as wide as this. It's definitely more narrow. So the rug would be over here, and then we have the space in the room where we have our obstacle course already laid out. So there's no transition, which is kind of nice. We can just move straight from our story dance exploration into our obstacle course. Then we do not do developing skills. So in the dance studio world, I would have my dancers transition. They would wait their turn. I would give them their lanes, and we would just practice individual skills. Maybe it's tiptoe walk with straight arms. Maybe it's tiptoe walks with curvy arms. Maybe it's angular marches. Whatever it is that we are practicing that day, we would practice those individual skills across the floor. We would maybe do 1 or 2 in the dance studio because I have that extra 15 minutes. So we don't do developing skills. We just get straight into our obstacle course, which this is the setup for our twisted scarecrow. So they would do X jump, twist, and turn. It's a creative dance class. This is a little bit of a hip-hoppy feel. It's fine. We would just tiptoe walk, and this is designed, the arms here, to do an infinity loop. So as they're walking up, I would color coordinate this. I would probably use different colors than I have today. I would say, okay, we're going to go to red, you're going to walk on orange, you're going to go up to yellow, and then this would be a different color. Maybe this is blue. Walk to blue, go to red, walk back down, and then they're kind of making this twisty, like infinity, almost like a figure 8 shape as they're walking. I did that earlier. Whew. It definitely tests that vestibular system, I'll tell you that. So that's our twisty shape. We would only do it once. And then up here, this is our dynamic balance. So dynamic balance is where we test our postural security, and we need to remain upright when we're standing still, because obviously if we're like this, we're going to fall over. So this tests our postural security while stationary. So this is our hat. They'll make some whatever twisty shape they want to make on that. And then they get to finish with their pumpkin. Then go 1, 2, 3, boo! And they really like that. So, and this was our jumping and twirling station. So we have all of our stations. Last week, well, my last video, I should say, I shared a 1-station obstacle course and the difference between a 1-station and a multi-station. So if you want to learn more about that and how we fit in the different skills, jumping, turning, dynamic balance, static balance, it's all going to be in that video for you. So after obstacle course, which we do an obstacle course every week in the dance studio, usually we clean this up, and if it's a combo class, we move on to tap. If it's one class, like just pre-ballet or just creative dance, we move on to our creative exploration. There have been a couple weeks in the preschool class, maybe if we've had a couple kids absent, where we've had time at the end to fill in a very short freeze dance at the end of class. It doesn't always happen. So usually after our obstacle course, we wrap up and we start putting our shoes on. I do a shoe race. I say, okay, let's see who can get their shoes on the fastest, and I'm here to help you. And so I help them all get their shoes on, and then we get stickers, because I don't have stamps. We get our little stickers for dancing that week, and then that class goes away and my second class comes back. That is a brief rundown of how my class flow changes in a preschool setting versus in a dance studio setting. All right, you guys, that is all I have for you on today's YouTube video. Let me know if you've been liking this series about mobile dance classes and how I have to switch them up sometimes compared to what I teach here in the dance studio. If you guys are enjoying this video, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you never miss a video. I will see you guys the next time. Happy dance adventuring. Bye.